Warren Mimidiga, Mudra and Awunya, Yuguna Awabakal Norowa. Hello friend, good to see you. Today I'm on Awabakal country. Today guys, as you can tell by the thumbnail of this, I'm decided I'm taking a break. Look, the honest truth is over the last few months my mental health has declined a lot over the last probably 6 months. In particular, since my grandfather passed in February. Coming into the later end of 2022, I noticed there that I was suffering a lot of social anxiety. I was really struggling with things, just going to the local shops to do my groceries, just in general wanting to be around people. I've really been battling with it, sort of coming into late last year and following into 2023. So that's one thing. I have seen a doctor. I do have a referral to a psychologist, so I'll be going to see a shrink shortly. But in particular, since the passing of my grandfather, as many of you know, if you've seen the rock and roll and dedication video, Pop passed on the 17th of February 2023, and Pop was a huge part of my family. He was a rock for our family. Because my biological father bailed before I was born, he's the one that stepped up for the first part of my life and took on that role before my stepfather came on the scene and started doing his part. But, Pop was a lot like a father to me. He was a father to me. He's the one that taught me to go fishing. The photo you see on screen is my first ever fish caught in the north side of the entrance. Pop's the one that took that photo. He's the one that took me out there. He would have been the one that rigged up my line and everything else. So Pop's done a hell of a lot for me. He taught me to use my hands and not be afraid to tinker with things and use tools and stuff like that. He just taught me a hell of a lot, and he was a real big part of my life. So losing Pop in February has been real hard. But as mentioned, my mental health has been going downhill well before that. This is just the cherry on the cake, so to speak. So what's that mean for the channel and everything else? Well, it does mean for a little bit. I'm going to take some time off. I'm still going to go through on social media, on Facebook and Instagram and that, and I'm going to share a Flashback Friday, one of my old videos each Friday. I'm just going to share it on Facebook and Insta. I'm not sharing it to groups or any of that sort of stuff. If you're in any of the groups that I've been in, you will already notice that I'm not sharing, or may have already noticed, that I'm not sharing videos in all those groups anymore. I used to, and I found this is something that I said in my update video at the start of the year, something I was planning. I found with sharing videos into all those groups, I was getting a lot of views, but I wasn't getting much retention. So all these views I might get 100 views that leads to half an hour of view time. Well, it's really not a lot. What I've found now, just releasing these videos to YouTube and sharing them through Facebook and Insta, I might only be getting 50 views, but I'm getting that same amount of view time because the people that are watching it are actually watching longer. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody that's subscribed to the channel and everybody that supports me through Instagram and Facebook and whatever else, especially Jamie Davis for being my first ever patron. You'd notice that at the end of all the videos now. He's jumped on and he's supporting me through Patreon, so thanks Jamie. And things like that. So for how it is now, I'm going to continue sharing the Flashback Friday videos. I'm working to rebuild the website. I haven't been overly happy with the way the current website looks and feels and everything, so I'm working to rebuild that. So probably by the time I come back and start releasing videos again, hopefully I'll have all that updated. But for now, as I said guys, I just need to step back a little bit, do my own things, sort my own head out, work on myself, because mental health's a real bitch. If you followed me for a while, you know I dealt with PTSD after being held up at work in 2008. And even though it was a long time ago, it's something I don't think you ever get over. You just learn to cope with it, fight against it. And lately, I've been starting to lose that fight. So I need to take that time and just work on me again, and just get myself back in check. Well, how long of a period am I thinking about leaving for? At the moment, it might be a month, 2 months. I'll probably be back by the end of financial year. Sort of 1st of July will probably be the latest that I'll be returning. Hopefully I'll be back before that, but yeah, at the moment I've got to work on me. Anybody that has suffered or does suffer from mental health issues knows exactly what I mean. You've got to stop and you've got to take that time for yourself, and you've got to work on you. You've got to seek help. You've got to get therapy, whatever it might be, and you've got to work on yourself. If you ignore it, that's how people end up topping themselves. And I've been there. I've been to the point where I wanted to do that, and I nearly have a number of times. So, yeah, I know the warning signs because I have faced it before, and that's why I'm stopping now before it gets any worse, and before I start having those feelings again. So, yeah, it'll probably be July at the latest, start of July at the latest, but for now, yeah, I can't say for sure. Look, if I get out and do some trips and do a bit of camping, I'm hoping I might be able to do a few things in the car. I do have a product that I have to do a video on, so stay tuned for that one. But that will be my first video when I return. So make sure you've subscribed, and yeah, that will be the first video when I return. And that product I'll actually be giving away because I don't want to keep it. Even though it looks like it's going to be a really good product, it's not something I personally want to keep. So I'm going to give that one away. So yeah, that'll be my first video back. Maybe by then I'll also have an install video for another product, maybe a bit of a review on it. Yeah, I can't say for sure. I'm hoping that the pads will get a bit of work done on it by then as well. There's a fair bit of rust that needs doing and a few other bits and pieces, so I've got to sort of hold out and see how that all goes and see what happens. So there's a few bits and pieces happening, guys. So stick with us, make sure you subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and you'll get any updates in that through there. So, alright guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Take care, peace, and as always, I'll see you on the tracks. Yano, goodbye.